Hello in TV land, it's your boy Lancer Joe, ready to once again get cracking. Yeah, not the smoothest of intros or openers. I mean, yeah, can't really say that I have the very best of intros. Now, if I did this on, say, more of a weekly basis, I mean, I could actually take the time to edit videos and maybe even develop a script and whatever. But you're not here for polish. You're here for content, and of course, my charm, witty words, Hollywood good looks, and I think that's really about it. Oh, did I already say wit? I have to have said wit, because, I mean, that goes without saying. Welcome on this wonderful Wednesday afternoon, or again, whenever it is you choose to watch this. One of the beauties of having these things up on YouTube, of course, is that you can enjoy these things at your own leisure. Leisure. I like leisure better. And, of course, you can always revisit them with no problems. And since I'm pretty certain that I'm not monetized, there should be no advertisements in it, because I don't warrant that kind of attention. Plus, I don't tag my videos. I don't think I'm going to start doing that until I'm actually completely comfortable with doing this and ready to start building the business, you know? So, consider this live practice. But anyway, I hope your Wednesday is going fine and wonderful. It was a pretty good day for me today so far. Actually, I thought that I was going to have to open this video with an apology, because for whatever reason, I got it in my head that I uploaded yesterday's video yesterday, I forgot to press the publish button. And that was just weighing down on me all friggin' day. So naturally, the first thing I did when I got home was boot up the laptop and check to make sure that it had actually published. Now, to be sure, I could have checked at work, but I am, if anything, a professional, and I'm paid to do a job, and so while I'm being paid to do the job, I will do the job. If I'm anything, I am professional, charming, handsome, humble, naturally. What's a synonym for witty? Clever? Oh, no, see, I don't like the word clever. I mean, I like the word clever, I just don't like associating it with myself. It's kind of like a karma thing. I mean, all the other words, fine, but when clever gets attached to something me or something I've done, not usually gets put right in front of it. Okay, so we've got handsome, witty, charming, humble. Really? I'm drawing a blank. Normally I would have more words to describe how awesome I am. Magnificent? Yeah, that doesn't describe any one particular quality. That's just me in the overall package. Well, I'm sure as much as you'd like to have me just sit here and figure out ways to compliment myself, and I, of course, enjoy complimenting myself, I'm also supposed to be doing things that kind of show that I can do things, other than compliment myself. Oh, if only I could get a freelancing gig where I was just complimenting myself. I mean, I could pay myself to compliment myself, but that's a closed loop system. That doesn't really work. Unfortunate. Very unfortunate, because I'm very, very, very good at it. Except for just back then, because I was at a loss. Wow. Not even good at that. Well, I'll blame it on being Wednesday and it being hump day. And of course, there's a hurricane or something or other barreling towards the east coast. So I have weighty things on my mind. Not that I'm just drawing a blank. Why did I? You know what? I was distracted yesterday. because I've been trying to rip as many of the CDs I have as possible. So basically, I fire up the upload, and then while it's uploading, I rip the CDs. I check back and forth every now and then. And the upload, how long does it take? Yeah, Sunday through Thursday, it takes about an hour. I think less about my internet connection and more about probably, well, part of it's the internet connection, the other part that it's wireless. So, yeah. Still kind of weird that it takes around 2 hours on. Well, it's not weird that it takes 2 hours around a Friday or Saturday. You figure everyone's uploading videos or everybody's watching videos, so yeah. Anyway, so that's what it was. I had been distracted by the ripping the stuff, trying to get as many done as possible, and I actually got much further along than I thought I would. I think I can finish off everything I have today. Well, that's what I thought, and then I remembered I probably have some CDs in the trunk of my car. So, yeah. Yeah, go figure. It's understandable why I would forget I had those. They were actually, I had two cars for a while, and the newer car had a USB input, ideally for an iPod, but really any USB would do, so, I stick in a flash drive. But the other car predated that, and so it did CDs, although I had a Pioneer head unit on that, and it had a built-in hard drive, so it could rip stuff straight off disks. So I'd throw disks in there and rip it off. But I would never take them out of the car. Anyway, so when I donated the older car, which I did, I just kind of moved all the stuff into the new car, including those CDs. So I was wondering where my Metallica CDs had disappeared to. Well, no, I still have some of them. The S&M ones. It's a surprisingly good mix. The metal with an orchestra. Well, not surprisingly. I like the contrast. And the class. No, it's hard to say. I mean, I'm not a musical aficionado per se. Going through all these CDs, I have a fairly diverse collection. Um, Ranging from, alternative, contemporary rock, classic rock. Totally forgot I had Rush in there. Journey and Foreigner. Country, lots of classical. And quite a few rap ones in there too. Not as many. I mean, some of the big names like Ice Cube, NWA. Some really grittier ones in there too. I have to remember how I managed to get those, or what got me hooked on those in the first place. And I can pinpoint the time frame because I remember my surroundings while I was listening to those back in the day. This would be around, let's say 2002, 2003. Anyway, I'm babbling on. In a very interesting way, I'm sure, but babbling on nonetheless. So what are we going to do today? Well, after the camera stopped rolling, I just focused on ripping the CDs, so didn't continue any more of the lambda work, which I thought I was going to do. That's, I think I'll spend the rest of this week just wrapping up the lambda stuff, so that would be, I should be able to finish off the style stuff today. I might dig into a new one tomorrow. That's what I need to do. Make another lambda for the dynamo stuff, because right now my get does a full scan to get all the contents of the table, but really the more useful thing is a parameterized query. I'm not going to get that done today, maybe tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow. But so for today, we're just going to keep cleaning things up, because even though I was changing the style and the layout, shrinking myself down. If only it were so easy. Because I'm a big, big man. Not anymore. Still big. Compared to certain groups, yeah. But, not. See, it did it. It never does that. think what I have to do when I start recording, but before I start monologuing, is check to see that that size thing works. If it doesn't, I click outside of VirtualBox, hit Windows, and then I go back inside VirtualBox and I check the terminal or text field, if anything, to see if it's seeing those G's, and if it is, then I press Escape. I think that is the correct sequence to solve that issue. Alright, so where am I? So I was doing the read and the email, the S3 read and the email. That matches up. Do the read. Oh, see this wouldn't work. This should have been an else in here. But more importantly, this is one other thing that I wanted to break out. So this generates email parameters. These are the S3 parameters. This does the send. This does the read. And basically, if the email parameters is not correct, then I'm going to do this error message. Send email on email sent on error. What is error? Well, in this case, error is whatever the symbol email service sends back. You know, in theory, that's all the same. I could just send. That's the same too. So what I'm thinking is, why I would repeat this, the response in general. The thing that changes is the status code and the response. So I could just pass in the status code and response. And basically what I'm talking about is function send response, right? Go ahead and send in the callback, and an error if needed, response code, and message. And so then all I have to do is generate this response body. That's what I'm going to call it, response body. Right? When I need that, I would just need this. Callback with the response. And then status code. Status code is status code. Response body is response. That's fine. So then this simply becomes, if I don't have an error, we send in the callback. We send in 200, and we send in this. And this is another magic string, which in theory I could also make So this also takes error. We'll just pass in that for now, null for now. And I can make this an environment variable too. And likewise for error, except we do have an error. Your response is going to be 500, and your message is this. Again, just going to make that an environment variable. So it's like, why am I doing this? Mostly because of also for this guy, because then I can also send a response. Just use the same code, but instead of the 200, I send the 400, and I send this as the response body. And then that gets rid of that. That stays the same. And then I no longer I need this. This is the thing I was calling, but I don't need these separate functions either. I get rid of this duplicate code. Right? Oh, okay, so that wasn't going to work. Email params dot response code. Response code equals 200. Alright, so I didn't finish that. Probably should have taken notes on that. Email params dot you know, I'll call it data, right? I'm gonna call it SES params because I'm using a simple email service. A little redundant, but the reason I'm doing it that way is because of this. Return that. Alright, so response, is it response code or status code? Yeah, response code. Response code, colon, response code. And SES params. You know, I don't like params. SES params is this. Really? Really? Well. And here I changed it from response code to status code. Let's go ahead and make it response code. Again, consistency. Could have sworn I copied that. Huh. So I'm waffling on this, making this an environment variable. I mean, it's not likely to change, to be honest, but recipient addresses, that's likely to change. The source, unlikely to change, but it might. So is that good? Good being, does it work? I could go through the whole rigmarole of writing a unit test and then setting up my environment More things for me to maintain. So I don't know. But if this works, if this does work, then I should probably do something similar here. Okay. Let's see. Let us see. Let's go to the lambda. And this was the email. It does tickle me, as my mama Freelancer Joe would say, tickle me pink, to see an email sent to me from freelancerjoe.com. I feel so self-important. I feel more self-important. So let's see. We got an error. No. It seems to... Ooh, okay. Thank you. I gotta admit, I do kind of like the editor just a little bit. No, not you. Nope, not that. Let's save it. Let's test it. And it says contact email was sent. I'm taking a look at my Gmail account and the other window. I'm not seeing an update yet, but let's test. I have multiple. No. Oh, darn it, I sent another one. Sorry. Great. I'm almost certain now that's going to get marked as spam. And email test missing fields. Test, we got 400 missing fields. Okay. Oh, there. I saw it pop up. Awesome. So that does work. Nice. So if that's the case, then let's go ahead. And I wonder if I should follow the same format. Basically, have a function to create the parameters that I'm going to use for the service. Because the thing is, right now this is hard-coded, right? But in theory, for an actual customer, it's going to have to base it on parameters. No, we'll leave it be for now. I'm pretty certain for the Dynamo one I will. S3 is much more static. It's not something that should be parameterized too often for a user. So, read object with that. So we're going to just have a function for send response. Just like we do here. Alright. And it's going to take a response code and a response body. And the error is going to be the same. For here, we send a response, the error 500, and a message that says, this says contact email failed to send, but for here I say this. Oh, no, that's interesting. Oh, yeah. Send response, response body, so error. On error. Error from lambda plus that. 500. And for success, now this is a bit more interesting. This guy generates a message, and sets content. So I might have to change the structure of the response. Alright, okay. We'll go with this then. Let response equal We'll go ahead and just set the body here. Alright. Why am I bother passing the status code? Alright. Because I would be typing it twice. I would be typing it twice. Response object. You know what? I could even be more obtuse and just do this. Not a fan of that, to be honest. Your boy Freelancer Joe don't like doing things in line. Alright. Send error, callback error, JSON. Send the message. Failed to send. Sent. So this thing gets the response. Alright, and then we simply say that response.headers equals this. And response.status code equals response code. And then we just do the equals the response code. Right. And likewise, up here, call back with a 400 for missing fields. Now, why am I going through this? Consistent, nice. Consistency mostly, because you see here on my S3 one, if I actually get data back, I throw it in an additional. I throw in an additional attribute in the response, and I could see me needing to do that in the future. So I want to have a very consistent way of how I handle it. So I just always pass in the status code and a response object that contains data, and then it's up to this one utility method to add the necessary headers and set the status code. Yes. But I've hit the 30-minute mark, and I need to go get back to ripping my CDs. Plus, I'm really hungry, because did my workout, got my beefcake going on, so I gotta feed the beast. That would be this guy, not me in general. So thank you for joining me. Tomorrow, I think we're going to pick right back up where this left off. I'll have to test the email one again, and then make the changes to S3, and then test that, and hopefully it will be much smoother with the Dynamo ones. Hopefully we can get that all done. So once again, thanks for joining me. I hope the rest of your day is great and wonderful, and then I hope you join me again tomorrow. Cool kid words about liking, subscribing, commenting, suggestions, and take care and God bless.